you to talk a little bit more about turning your attention towards consciousness. We were talking about that, and I'm going to see what you mean when you say that. Is there like a mechanical aspect to that where you have your attention faculty and you place it towards consciousness?
Yeah, if you're interested in turning your attention towards consciousness and there is a mechanical quality to that, you're going to get bored really quickly. And before you know it, you're going to be more interested in your golf game or in, how soon you can go to Virginia Beach. So it doesn't work if it's a mechanical sort of activity.
What I mean when I say mechanical, it's like a perception that consciousness is there, like a silent friend behind the scene or a silent.
What would perceive that perception? If it's a perception, then what perceives it? You see, as soon as you ask yourself what perceives, you're turning your attention to consciousness. You as consciousness is turning your attention to consciousness because consciousness is asking that question. Because if consciousness would not be asking that question, then it would be non-consciousness that would be asking that question. And non-consciousness asks no questions. That's not conscious. So it's always consciousness that is asking the question.
I see it's like two ends of a screen looking back at each other.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I think that's a good, metaphor. The two ends of the stream, a string, a current, a flow that are, looking at each other. But it's really, these two ends are one. They're not really two ends, because when consciousness asks itself, what am I? Where does it go? For that question, for the answer to that question, it doesn't go anywhere. It's a question to itself. When you ask yourself, am I conscious, or just simply, am I? That question is immediately addressed, because it's a question from the self to the self, from consciousness to consciousness. And when there is that question, what am I? It's the answer is beyond the mind. It is not the mind. It comes to stillness, and in that stillness, there is just the reverberation of presence, of the question, which is reverberating in presence.
The question kind of cancels itself out when you ask it, in a sense.
It cancels itself, yes, it cancels itself out, but in canceling itself out, it brings the attention to consciousness. It's like when you hit a cymbal with a or a drum with a, at some moment when the stick hits the drum, at that moment there is a canceling out. There is a canceling out. The forward, the force forward that meets the membrane. There's a moment of zero pull, downward force and upward force. There is a moment of zero, of equilibrium, perfect equilibrium, and then it pulls out. But as it pulls out, there is an important effect, which is boom, or if it's a symbol, ding. There is an effect. So yes, that question, what am I, or am I conscious, has an immediate answer which is beyond the mind, which is verbally it would say, yes, I am conscious, yes, I am consciousness, but it's really, the answer is before it's verbalized, it's answered. But there is an effect. It cancels itself out, but in this canceling itself out, there is the effect of awakening in a way, let's say, to consciousness. Consciousness vibrates. And it's this vibrancy of consciousness that is forgotten when we are imagining ourselves to be a man, a woman. Oh my God, it's going to happen to me. I've done this. You know, when the personal identification precedes or draws the attention, and our attention is sort of going through that funnel, the me funnel, me in time and space. The vibrancy of consciousness is not lived, is not resonating. That's what's referred to as ignorance, when we're living without the vibrancy of consciousness, without the vibrancy of consciousness is an impersonal experience. There is no mind in it. It's the absence of any identification. It is a sort of the experience of infinity, if you want to sort of use that, of eternity. And that's not nothing. Although the question canceled itself out in itself as it arose, it delivered the goods. I think your question was to talk about recognizing oneself as consciousness, or abiding as consciousness. So beyond the crucial aspect to that is your passion for truth. And in a way, it's a choice, because you can live the character with their events and the children and the wife and the home and the work and the job, and that could be actually your 24-hour thing, because even in your sleep, you're dreaming, or the me activities in your dream, and in your deep sleep it's more subtle, but it's still the phenomenal realm. But to go to the noumenal realm requires your interest. First, of course, there has to be some kind of recognition already and some taste of the goods, which you have, otherwise you wouldn't be here. So there's already a recognition of I as consciousness. And to cherish that, to value that, to maintain your interest in that, and to explore that, to explore whichever way, through your readings, through coming to satsang, through your reflections in times when you can reflect and contemplate in your own space. And that will it will flower, it will bloom and blossom. It works that way.